The mortal world is kind of better than Halloweentown in this one, because for most of it, Halloweentown is under the gray spell, and meanwhile in the mortal world, they're having the longest Halloween that's ever been had.
I grade Halloweentown.
I grade myself. Happy Halloween!
Halloweentown.
Halloweentown 2! There was a second one, and a third, and a fourth!
Well, asterisk by that fourth.
Well, it exists.
It exists.
Whether you like it or
sorta.
not is it's up to you.
It has the main character, sorta.
Exactly the way I imagined it would be.
So after the thrilling Halloweentown 1 was a runaway success for Disney Channel, they decided to make Halloweentown 2 3 years later, and it features Calabar's Revenge! That's the subtitle, so a little bit of a spoiler for people.
Also features growth spurts.
Growth spurts. Yeah, I don't know in Canada. It feels like this is just supposed to be a year has passed since the last one, but the kids have grown up a little more than a year.
Yeah, very obvious.
Yeah. This one is about Calabar's son. Spoiler alert.
Yeah. What do I call him? Cal.
Yeah, I guess he's Calabar the Second. I don't know. They don't say anything other than Cal, but that's presumed, I guess.
Yeah, he's junior.
He's junior, and he was kept secret, and he's like, yeah, I was kept secret. I guess it's not much of a spoiler to say that he's Calabar's son, because they give it away pretty quickly. His plan goes underway
He's
very,
like,
very
hi,
quickly.
I'm Cal, just Cal.
Just Cal. I'm your new neighbor. I'm here at your Halloween party.
I moved in today. Kind of weird how you never saw the moving vans,
Cal, you're Calabar's son.
I didn't know Calabar had a child.
He didn't want people to know.
So he is going to enact revenge on behalf of his father, who never mentioned him because he wasn't written into this one. And he's going to mess up Halloweentown, which has been put under a gray spell, which turns them human and boring. And also he's going to turn the people in the human world into their costumes. To what end, I forget. He probably said something in his long wall face
Seems like it's
exposition
mostly
dump.
revenge, but I don't know. As he's sitting there in victory for a brief period, it kind of seems more like, now what do I do with this?
He didn't have much of a plan. I mean, he is a dumb kid. Maybe he's just like, turn them into their costumes, do the gray spell, profit?
Got revenge for my deadbeat dad. Now what do I do?
Maybe he's trying to incur the wrath of Merlin. Breaking the
Oh
order
yes,
of Merlin.
Merlin!
Oh yes, Merlin.
I didn't remember that Merlin was so important to this
Yeah,
one, but I'm glad we
factored
pointed
into it.
him out in the last one.
Yeah.
Because apparently he's a big shot deal. He was in the background of the other one. He's apparently like the head honcho who made up all the rules way back in the day.
The Code of Merlin.
You better stop breaking in on my spells, Cal. It's against the code of Merlin.
Nobody cares about the Code of Merlin anymore, Marnie.
Maybe he was in the background of this one just as a gray person, so we didn't notice it was Merlin.
So the Cromwells are like more powerful than Merlin. They were able to break through this, but the guy who made that rule about Halloweentown only being open on Halloween is like turned into a normal foot.
Cromwells are the real Halliwells of this universe.
Yeah, we're the chosen ones. You better get us to Halloweentown, Leo.
Cromwells dominate no one.
Then why'd you let the mortals take charge of the earth? And when my father tried to bring the creatures of Halloweentown back, you Cromwells brought everyone against him. And then you destroyed him!
I do like how big they cheat in this one, because the Halloweentown world really sucks, because you're stuck there for a year of mortal time, and then 100 years in their time if you don't go through the portal while it's open during Halloween.
Yeah.
But it's like, we can just cheat.
We can just cheat, and then like, oh.
No one else ever thought of that.
No one else ever thought of the backdoor code. She learned that by being on a shitty chat room on the internet at the very beginning.
Yeah.
One that has like a little
Backdoors.
visualizer and like reads it for you.
Yeah.
What's going on at your party?
I'm avoiding it.
What's the matter?
Yeah.
What?
That's what I always wanted. I wanted someone to read my chats at me in a robot voice.
It is funny how that comes back.
Marnie could be elite hacksaws.
They're bringing technology and magic together, the modern and the old.
They need
except
that,
it's stupid
Matrix
2001.
X crap going on as she's like hacking the magic world. Hackers starring Marnie.
Hack the planet! Hack the planet! Shut up!
It is kind of a half-assed attempt at putting the internet
Hack-ass.
in. A hack-assed attempt at putting the internet in this story.
Yeah.
We need a backdoor code. I don't know.
Like how hackers get into computer programs. I wonder if spells have backdoors.
Shows her worth because she's bringing things from the mortal world to the magic world. That's how good she is. They're all crusty and all they're set in their ways. And she's like, no, I can bring the internet to Halloweentown.
Understood why you bother with that internet thing when my witch's glass can show you anything you want to know.
The mortal world is kind of better than Halloweentown in this one, though, because for most of it, 95% of this runtime, Halloweentown is under the gray spell, so it's just a boring, shitty world. And meanwhile, in the mortal world, they're having the longest Halloween that's ever been had. There's a Halloween party at the Cromwell house, and then apparently there's also a dance at the high school happening at the same time, which goes until midnight.
Yeah, this is
Which
a
also adults can
super
attend.
late school dance. They're having this Halloween party at the Cromwells, and it's already dark out. I'm like, when's this school dance start?
Yeah,
Jeez.
she put Sophie to bed, and the dance hasn't even started yet.
I love she put Sophie to bed, then you see a little girl younger than her still up at the party.
Apparently any old fuck could just wander in because, like, their new neighbors are like, hey, we just saw there was a party going on. We brought some lime ice cream.
Like, lime ice cream? You don't see that. It's like, I know, that's wwhy I bought 2 buckets.
It's kind of funny at the beginning when Calabar II's fake dad is like, I brought green ice cream because green's my favorite color.
That's
Gwen's
the
like,
favorite color of any frog.
yeah.
Except the
Spoiler,
ones
he's
colored
frogs.
differently.
And then the mom is just like, oh, okay.
I hope you like lime. Green's my favorite color.
Okay.
He's like, but green's my favorite color. All right.
Oh, she's dealt with a lot of green people before, so this should be normal to
Yeah,
Judith
she's
Hoag.
like, I'm not into frogs, I'm more into turtles. Girls like guys who eat out. Isn't that what that old turtle sticker says?
Yeah. Sure. She's more into wretched reptiles than ambiguous amphibians.
I'm not going to that party just to tell her that you think her date is a reptile.
Frogs are amphibians.
It's a golem, but they keep calling it a golem.
I think he's a golem. A golem!
Be a golem. Go to bed.
You! Golem!
I don't think that's really what a golem is either. They talk about it being made out of clay.
Yeah, they bring up the regular Jewish golem made out of clay.
Yeah, I guess I don't know enough about, like, Jewish folklore to know if you could call that a bunch of frogs a golem, but I don't think so. Maybe just in Halloweentown's universe, that's what it is. All denominations are all in one universe. It's all the same.
It's really weird, the frog golem, when they just break him apart into golem. They just break him apart and just like, that's the end of that. It's like, did that guy like his existence?
It seemed like he was pretty content with his existence.
Yeah, they're just
But
like,
I don't know, I guess they were
whatever.
acting like he's not really a sentient creature. He was pretty charming. It seemed like he was interested in what Judith Hoag liked.
Yeah, it certainly seemed like he cared, but oh well, screw that guy. He never existed.
So rude.
Damn Cromwells.
Damn Cromwells.
You're not human!
Nobody's perfect.
One thing that was really funny about this, the actress who plays Marnie and the actor who plays Calabar II reconnected in 2016, and this year they got married. So now they're married.
Very funny, because there's a line where she's telling Cal, my future doesn't include you, and should have been like, yeah, we'll check ahead to 2016. You might be surprised. She could have done that on the timeline as they're flying through that. Oh, let's go to 2016. Oh, what?
Oh, I guess things worked out. I mean, they did leave it ambiguous. They're like, well, it's not the last we heard of that guy, and according to the sequels, yeah, it's the last they heard of that guy.
But according to real life, it wasn't.
Yeah, he came back.
This is our future together.
I'm in control of my own future, and it doesn't include you.
His head was floating around her ominously, and then she's like, maybe I didn't give Cal a chance. maybe I should give him a second chance.
stuck in the cement. That next gen creepy box, or the best Doctor Who episode, Love and Curses. Love and Monsters.
Love and Monsters. Love and Curses is the She-Wolf of London
She-Wolf.
revamp. That was shitty. I don't think anyone was in a wall in that one. I was thinking of Doctor Who with Lord Rassilon. Wasn't his face in a wall at one point?
Yeah, it was on the side of some kind of box or something, I think.
Pretty good. I love that this entire exposition dump happens while he is a big block face.
It's weird because he talks stilted as he's the box face for some reason.
I can show you things that Aggie could not teach you in a million years.
I don't know, because he's got to have the deep, scary voice because he's a box.
I grade Halloweentown.
I grade myself.
Gotta be a better way to say that, Cal. That's also where the pumpkin's supposed to be, apparently.
Yeah, he just turned it into a big block, and I'm like, why is it a big block? Oh, so they could put his face in there. It's interesting watching this because you can try and figure out how they pulled off these effects. They do have a larger budget than they did in the first one, and you can tell, like, the prosthetics on the monsters are better. They do have a little bit better set dressing and stuff, but,
they have a little less makeup on Luke.
Yeah, Luke has a decidedly less ugly makeup in this.
It's funny because when Marnie first sees him too, she mentions it's like, oh, you're kind of more like how you were when Calabar changed you. Like, I don't really care. But then he goes back to normal, but it's still less than it was.
The whole point of the lesson of that movie was to accept what he really looks like. Even though he's ugly on the outside, everyone's really beautiful. Except you could be a little more handsome, so...
He's like, no, I'm still gonna go get some work done. I don't like this giant nose.
I don't want this giant nose.
To cut that way down, way down.
I feel like that really hurt kids with giant noses, Halloweentown.
Guess it wasn't much of a reason for being all evil and all, huh? I didn't have a chance of getting a date with you.
A date?
Yeah, it was stupid.
But it's interesting to see how they pulled off some of these effects. I mean, we know how they got Luke's effect done. So with that wall thing, they've put the guy in a wall makeup over his face and then superimposed that on there. And then with a lot of the gray effects, they put a mask around Marnie and Aggie. But there are some shots when people are interacting with them, they've put them in gray costumes or gray makeup, so it's easier for them to pull that off.
The effect they did too, you can tell it took out like most color, but like orange mostly sticks around.
Yeah, they've keyed it so that orange is still there because it's supposed to be people are slowly turning black and white, so there's some color there, but it's mostly orange. Also, when they go to Aggie's house, they've done a gray set, except for the floors. They don't have to mask them out because it's a closed set, so it's a lot easier to just make everything gray in there, especially because they didn't have to turn anything gray that existed in another color, like the trees or the ground or whatever that they've had to just change in post, but they don't have to do that in the house, which made it easier for them.
They didn't bother with a lot of wood pattern stuff too, because you see a few wood pattern things besides
so that's why the wooden floors.
Yeah, you see the wooden floor still like that. There's like a desk that has wood pattern on the back, and you see that's still normal.
Yeah, the special features on this DVD, by the way, are only about the first one, and they don't talk about the second one, so...
Well, my favorite Halloween costume is a witch, but I'm a little biased.
Oh, they had Benny in this, but he was a real guy and not a skeleton. That was something.
Yeah.
But you don't get the fun Benny for most of it, just at the very end. They do have this weird flashback to Benny to remind you that that's the skeleton when they see him as a human guy. And then they dub him over and he's just like, ah.
Yeah, well.
That's classic Benny, all right.
Benny? Wow.
You're saying Halloweentown was kind of lessened, but they had a much better character in Halloweentown in this one with Blue Mankuma as Gort.
Yeah.
They hang out with him a lot. He's funny in both versions of Gort.
Blue Mankuma, superstar. You've seen him in so many things, and he's always good.
Tigatron himself.
Tigatron himself, and you could tell that he's good at voices, because he's got a distinct voice between the normal Gort and the gray Gort.
Take a number. I'm now serving nobody.
I'm busy, you see, sorting my salad.
I like the gray Gort voice a little better. It's pretty funny.
It's funny.
But the other Gort's pretty good too, especially when he's like, oh, this is stupid.
Let's just use my timeline, idiots.
I liked his little cockroach pet. That was fun.
Loved his little roach buddy.
Yeah, he had a little collar on him and everything. Treated that roach real good. He's, I guess, a troll or a goblin or some sort of creature, whatever the case.
Whenever anything goes lost, it ends up in his place.
Yeah, he ends up with all of the lost stuff, and they have to come to his place to look for a copy of Aggie's spell book that will undo the gray spell. There's 2 copies of it, and one of them got stolen by Cal at the beginning because Marnie was being dumb. She's like, I've known this boy for 2 seconds. Let's go up to my grandma's secret magic room. Oh, something happened.
You're saying it has to be magic candles she has in there, because otherwise that's super unsafe, Grandma.
I guess it's to be assumed they're magic candles.
You would hope.
They're not going to teach us bad fire safety stuff.
She's got a lot of other unsafe things she teaches the kids, but candle safety. That's on her top list. Anyway, kids, go kill yourselves on a broom. See how that works out.
Marnie's got a new broom in this one.
Marnie's got a brand new broom.
She's got a new broom because they have more of a budget, so they don't have to have just an orange broom with some plastic attachments on it. Now they have a Nimbus 5 million.
Goes bitchin' speed through that timeline.
Totally rad.
They have to do a time travel spell to go back to before Gort was grayed so they can try and find the book there. And that ends up not working out.
Because he sold everything at a yard sale.
He sold it at a yard sale along with that time machine.
Yeah, the time machine I found at a yard sale.
Yeah, I guess his timeline must have been sold at a yard sale because he didn't have it in the gray version. Mm-hmm. They didn't look for it, certainly.
Yeah, they didn't bring it up.
Because they were like, oh no, we're running out of time for the portal. I guess we're not going to do any time travel or anything. Even though they had Grandma back at that point.
They could have asked her the time travel spell.
I feel like introducing...
They could have done the time warp again.
Yeah, I feel like introducing an easy time travel spell like that just has a lot of plot holes. I mean, it's too easy.
Mm-hmm.
You could just solve anything if you could just go back in time and undo it.
Mm-hmm. Just like the Charmed ones.
Yep. Oh, well, I was playing some video games in Halloweentown, and then my powers went away.
I better go back in time and ask Mom and Dad what's up.
Well, it's when Sophie went evil and became a member of Nickelback.
She sang the ending credit song. Even Acnea.
It was
Said it backwards, they reversed the spell.
Yeah, it feels like if it's easy enough that if you say a set of words together that sound like a different word backwards, like you're just going to be accidentally saying spells all the time. Especially because a lot of them are just in English.
Yeah.
How does this work in this world?
You'd be very careful what you're saying if you're a witch.
Yeah, I would just take a vow of silence. Ever since Sophie murdered her whole class.
It's very easy to fix the spell too once they learn it's just a trappa or a part.
Yeah,
they do this back and forth on Blue Mankuma for a while.
Yeah, they're so mean to him, and he's like, "Can you maybe stop casting spells on me?"
Like, no. A part.
Trappa.
Will you stop doing that?
Yeah, they do that till the end of the movie, and they're like, we ran out of time. We had 15 minutes left, and when you time travel, it's synchronized with the time that you need to get back to, so we gotta just keep casting spells on Blue Mankuma until our time runs out.
I'm begging you, stop! Apart! Trappa!
And then he falls apart, and we said it too many times.
Sweep him under the rug.
Guess he got lost. I did like his...
And the day was saved.
That'd be if he was in Charmed for sure.
Yeah, he'd be a pile of dust in the first act. He'd be the guy like, I waited 1,000 years to get killed in the cold open of a Charmed episode.
It's kind of weird because she accidentally casts a spell to fix Luke, but they don't realize that this happened for quite a while.
Yeah, they just assume that the gray spell wore off.
Mm-hmm. It doesn't seem to be doing that with anyone else, but I need someone to hang out with while I go through time and stuff, so Luke, you're it. Except when we need that one-on-one with me and Cal, so he gets thrown into some kind of limbo for that one time period.
Where's Luke and Grandma?
Guess you could say I took them offline for the moment. It's a simple limbo spell. I could teach it to you later.
It was so weird, and they hadn't revealed that Marnie had said something backwards or whatever. And then he disappears just as Cal shows up. And then he pops up back to no affair when she jumps out of that. So I thought it was going to be like Cal in disguise or something, like he was sneaking around so he could figure out what she was doing and stay one step ahead, but... It was just weird.
I think they're thinking of like, we'll have a Cal every movie. It'll be Cal the Third in the next one. His kid in It's just like some old toddler.
Marnie, you killed my pamper.
How young was he having a kid? I don't know if they want to introduce this.
I know.
But I don't know. I mean, like, it's 100 years in Halloweentown to 1 year in the regular world, so maybe, like...
He had time.
Yeah, he had time. Maybe he is, like, hundreds of years old. He just looks like a kid, and there's a real age gap between him and Marnie. Because he is trying to get her to join him. I don't know what he thought was appealing about this, because she just goes, nah, that's the end of that.
It's been at least 100 years, too, or maybe multiple hundreds since Luke's seen Marnie, but he's still like, oh yeah, hey Marnie.
Yeah, I don't know. I feel like after 100 years, like her mom was saying, you'd just be a stranger to someone.
Mm-hmm. And she tells Marnie, if you do this, you're going to be a stranger to this world. You can basically never come back, even though she did it.
Yeah.
It doesn't work for her.
Yeah,
she's beyond the rules because she's a Cromwell.
Well, and she let her mom stay 100 years in Halloweentown every year and only visit once a year. Kind of seemed like she did okay. She didn't really want to live in the mortal world, I think, was the issue. I don't think... She didn't know about the World Wide Web, though. She thought it had to do with spiders, so maybe she was a little disconnected from the world.
Mm-hmm. So this World Wide Web I've heard about, does it involve spiders?
I think it's time maybe we started your training.
Oh.
But it seemed like they had modern technology in Halloweentown. It didn't seem like it's like medieval or anything. They didn't have the internet, but they had dentistry and shit in the first one. But we didn't get to explore a lot of that in this one. Halloweentown itself was boring for most of it. All the Halloween stuff was happening in not Halloweentown.
Mm-hmm.
They cast a spell. They got turned into their costumes. And then Nelson is like, I'm not a raccoon. I'm the Lone Ranger. And then Grandpa Simpson got turned into a gorilla, and then Blue Mankuma took him to the gorilla hospital.
It's like, this is an okay treehouse of horror until you get to the end, and like, we don't know how to end this. They're all pacifiers, I guess. Whatever.
Right, yeah, let's forget the ending. The beginning part was alright. And that's a review of Treehouse of Horror season something? 17, 18?
Season too late.
Yeah.
Du l'obscurité.
Speak English, moron.
I'm turning you into your costumes.
You were mentioning, too, it's kind of funny that once they get turned in their costumes, everyone's on a rampage.
Yeah.
They had that lesson in the first one, monsters aren't as evil as you think. I don't know, maybe it's because these are a bunch of stupid humans that don't know what's going on, they're going berserk.
I guess the lesson here is that monsters are evil and should be separated from the mortal world. Maybe Judith Hoag, maybe she was onto something. Judith Hoag also, she played the creature that she turned into as well. It wasn't a stunt person, even though you wouldn't tell and it was a little unnecessary, but maybe she just wanted to.
If you look close, you notice it's her, but they could have gotten away with someone else pretty easily.
Yeah, maybe she just wanted to be there and play the part.
Yeah, like, this seems fun.
Yeah, maybe she's just having fun on set.
I found a terrific mask for you.
You. Oh.
Another fun little detail, the costumes from Hocus Pocus get reused in this. They tie in together, the Disney witch movies.
They were in from Halloweentown, who knew?
Yeah, they were the evil witches, though. They're not the good Cromwell witches.
Them out.
They're like, you can hang out in statue form in the mortal world.
Or that crappy wood set from the second one.
Yeah, you can go to Walgreens.
Here we are.
So, sisters, it glows from within with a sickening light.
Yeah, that's fluorescence for you.
Dylan and Sophie are kind of sidelined for this one. They do some stuff. They're going to get the mom. They ride on a broom. They are there for the end to do the Cromwell family spell.
Break the rules spell.
Yeah, both Halloweentown movies had to end with everyone standing watching while the Cromwells do stuff to save the day. They break the spell, change the rules by the order of Merlin that they can only go to Halloweentown once a year, and now they can go whenever they want. That ends the problem of not being able to see their mom when Marnie was going to go study with her grandma for 100 years.
Yeah. Now we can go back and forth forever, because it's really easy. You idiot should have thought of that.
Makes it easy.
The defeat of Cal is kind of weird, because he just pulls out both the copies of the book.
Oh, yeah.
And he's like, I dare you to try and take them.
Do it.
Okay. Oops. And then he implodes.
Well, Well, she goes like, I'm not afraid of you, as if that's gonna like stop him from using his powers and murdering her or something. But apparently the power of confidence is what undoes him. And yeah, she grabs the books and he implodes for some reason. And then they're like, he'll be back. Even though he doesn't come back, he's dead.
No, he's a real Barbus.
He's dead just like his dad. No, Barbus, he came back.
No, just think of no.
Their greatest enemy.
I'm not afraid anymore.
I don't think this was as good as Halloweentown 1, but it did have a better budget. I do feel like they went in a good direction for it. Like, it was still a fun watch.
I think this one's a decent enough plot, and it's, like, way better when you realize what's coming.
When you realize what's coming?
With the sequels after this.
Oh, yeah. Well, yeah, it is better than 3 and 4. It's only, like, degrading qualities from here.
But I think 2 is fairly decent. It kind of sucks, I guess, not to see Halloweentown as it just normally is that much, but at least it's a dilemma. Can't leave that stupid Halloweentown on its own very long. You always come back and it's like, oh, well, this is wrong. Yeah, again.
I mean, it is a very similar dilemma to the first one. I mean, they're like either sucking their souls out or making them personalityless
grayscaling
or whatever.
them.
Yeah, they're like changing Halloweentown for the worse.
Yeah.
But they were able to do, I guess, a beefed up version of this. They weren't just hanging out in a theater. This one.
Yeah.
I did miss that guy who sold the brooms. He had a lot of like oomph to his performance.
He wouldn't have as a gray man.
No, he would have been a boring broom salesman.
That Luke dude, he's turned into such a wiener.
Anyway, Blue Mankuma was the star of this movie. I guess that's the real takeaway.
Yeah. Blue Mankuma, so 10 out of 10.
Alright.
You stink like a Cromwell. I want you out of my cottage!
That's it for Halloweentown 2. As my hat flies off. Happy Halloween! Is this okay? I don't want the point to look too stupid. Hey, Phelan. Forget it. It's Halloweentown.
Oh. 2.
End review. It doesn't get any better than that.
Who are you gonna call? Someone else.
Duh! And then they cast a spell, and then nothing.
And then nothing.
I feel like we're missing something. This is good stuff.